This is the 2023 Honda Odyssey. It's the Honda Odyssey Sport, which is the trim level that has received the most changes for 2023. Obviously, by no means a full redesign, just some changes such as black trim, black wheels, several other things within the interior and on the exterior that make it, well, considered a sport. But it's been a few years since we've seen the Odyssey fully redesigned. And in today's Vehicle Visionary video, I'm going to tell you what I personally would like to see happen when Honda redesigns the Odyssey. This is by no means a knock on the current generation of the Odyssey, but a lot of people have said, including a lot of you watching the video, that it's time for a redesign. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on what I think could or should change in the future. As of right now, Honda has not said anything about redesigning the Odyssey. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen for 2024, but I'm not going to speculate on that. Just going to tell you what my thoughts are. The current generation of the Odyssey has been with us since 2018, or at least the 2018 model year. What is likely going to change starting from the A-pillar forward is going to be a more squared off front end to give it a more aggressive look. That's just a given. You're going to see that along the lines of what we've seen with the Ridgeline and with the new Pilot, as well as other models. Just seems to be the direction that Honda is going with those things. I believe there should be an all-wheel drive option available. A lot of you have asked for that. It seems that Honda would eventually listen and say, yeah, I think that's a good idea. With the squared off front end, I think that while this is a nice looking headlight design, the daytime running lights, the LED daytime running lights do have a nice look to them. But it's likely that that would need to kind of square off a little bit more, maybe not have as much of an angle right here when it comes to the overall design, and probably going to have a different design than what we have here. Probably more along the lines of what we're seeing with other models that have been redesigned for the last couple of years. Also, the grille would change. Pretty simple as far as all of that goes. Now, I do want to see Honda Sensing still be here. It probably will be. I can't imagine why that would ever change. We'll still have all of those great safety features such as lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, adaptive cruise control, and even though it's not really part of Honda Sensing, you'll also have the blind spot monitoring as well. Something that I know a lot of you are asking for. You like having the turn signal indicators built into these heated power adjustable side view mirrors, but instead of the manual ability to fold the mirrors, I know you'd like to see a power folding option made available. One thing that I would like to see for sure, obviously going to be on higher trim levels. Yes, it's going to add more money, but that just comes with the territory, would be a motion sensor down here, like what we see with the Toyota Sienna, where you can just use the motion sensor down there to open and or close the rear or the side doors. Now on appropriate trim levels, obviously you have that back here with the rear door. Speaking of that, obviously I want that to stay. Let's talk a little bit about cargo capacity here. In this case, we have 32.8 up to 140.7 up to a maximized 144.9 cubic feet. Leave the magic stowing or the stowing magic rear seats. Leave the instructions here because sometimes people struggle with that a little bit, even though it's very easy once you learn to do it. Obviously, that would mean this area would stay here. It's a great multitasker because when the seats are in their upright position, guess what? You can just put whatever you want to down here and use that for storage in a multitude of ways. One thing that I think does need to change, and yes, it will probably increase the price, but removing these middle row seats is a huge benefit, something you can't do with the Sienna. But while the middle seat here is not that heavy, it probably weighs, I don't know, I'd guess 30 to 40 pounds, I'm not really sure. But I know for a fact that these outboard seats are 70 pounds apiece. And for the average person, that's gonna be pretty hard to get in and out, or out and back in, I should say. So what would be a good idea here? Something to borrow from the Chrysler Pacifica. I don't think that that's something that's been trademarked or any copywritten or whatever, where it can't be used. I don't know, it might be. I haven't looked into that. But it would be nice to see these seats stow down into the floor. the same way as what you can do on the Pacifica, kind of similar to what we have with the Stowing Magic rear seats back there. You would just move a section of the floor out of the way right here, and then you could put those seats down there, put the floor back in place, and it's a more flat surface than what we have available right now. Again, not to knock anything, but just some ideas of what I think Honda should be doing. And just because, well, I'm a car guy, I guess, kind of a gearhead, well, not kind of, it's full on, but for me, I like a clean look. It would be nice to see Honda tuck away the window wiper into this rear roof spoiler right here. Just kind of clean the back window up a little bit. Obviously, you would see some changes probably come back here with the taillights. Not bad. It's not bad back here by any means, but if you're going to redesign, you might as well go all out. And while I don't think it's going to happen, it would be quite a strong step forward in the category of the minivan if Honda ended up with the most powerful engine option available under the hood. I know if a lot of you are asking for the hybrid powertrain, so we'll have to see if that comes or not. If Honda holds to tradition with the Odyssey, they're going to have the 3.5 liter V6 that is now under the hood of the Pilot, also here as the lone option for the Odyssey, unless they come up with a hybrid powertrain. Again, we'll wait and see. I know a lot of you ask about that, but here's the thing. It wouldn't be the same motor. This motor makes 280 horsepower. The torque numbers come in at 262 pounds-feet. The new 3.5 liter that is in the Pilot is making 285 horsepower. The torque numbers remain the same, but obviously more horsepower is always a good thing. And what about the interior? I know I get a lot of comments on my videos from many of you saying this interior is antiquated. Well, when you consider the newly redesigned models such as the Civic, the Accord, the Pilot, the CR-V, I think we have a pretty good idea of what we're going to see here, and I think that would be a good move in the right direction. Maybe not quite so much slope here as far as the angles go on the dashboard. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think we would see that change a little bit. We would have the more honeycomb design coming across where the air conditioning vents and the dash itself, the area in between, you really can't tell the difference other than the adjustments right there. I think that's what we're going to see coming here. Also, the changes to the vertical touchscreen with wireless capabilities for your phone, Apple CarPlay compatibility, all that good stuff's going to be there. Probably going to have the two different options with the 9-inch base, the default screen basically, standard. And then tell me what you think down here. Would you like to see something come, maybe a traditional style shifter somewhere down here? I would like to see a little bit higher console. I know a lot of people like that because it's just easier to gain access to. So maybe bring the console up a little bit more, even use that to double as the armrest. That way it's just really simple for everybody in that respect. And another thing I would like to see is the same thing we see with the Pilot with the multiple camera angles that are now available. Not that this multi-view right here is bad. And by the way, that flashing you see on the screen is due to the shutter speed of my GoPro. So that's not something to fault Honda for by any means. We would also see the digital instrument cluster pass over from other models, probably some changes to the steering wheel, and maybe a little bit more of not quite a slope to the windshield. It will be very interesting to see, but tell me what you think up here. I think that Honda should leave the conversation mirror alone. Leave it here, leave it available. What do you think about that? And obviously, you want to keep that sunglass holder. And something else, I don't think we're going to see it happen, but it would be nice to see the option for a panoramic sunroof, or maybe just a second sunroof in the rear area back there, something that's a little bit bigger than what we have at the traditional size here, because if you have the Elite and you have the entertainment package, well, you wouldn't be able to have a panoramic sunroof with that package. So that's basically what I think about the interior. The seats themselves seem to be pretty comfortable. It would be kind of cool to see Honda add a massage function as an option. So now it's your turn to talk. I know I told you what I think should change with the Honda Odyssey when a full redesign comes. Hopefully that will be for 2024. Tell me what your thoughts are. What would you like to see change? What would you like to see remain the same? Do you think nothing should change? Very curious to know what your thoughts are. Gotta say a special thanks to my friends at Holmes Honda for loaning me this 2023 Honda Odyssey Sport for the day. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle, whether it's redesigned or not. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.